Friends, welcome back to another New Year, New Skills series. And if you're new here, I'm Molly, also known as Good Golly Gal. Today is the first project in our New Year, New Skills series, and we're gonna be doing stained glass. So I'm gonna share with you guys all the materials you need for this project. I'm gonna let you know if it's a necessity or not. There are materials when it comes to doing stained glass that just make your life easier, but they're not essential. So if you're just starting out, or if you're not positive this is something that you're going to love and want to keep doing, then I would definitely recommend going on the cheap. You don't have to get all the fancy expensive stuff. I actually linked all the materials that I'm using. When you go to my Amazon storefront, you'll see that I have listed these items are essential, and then I have added some extra things at the bottom that are very useful, but that you don't have to have. The other thing that you're going to need is you're going to need some sort of template. So what I'm doing today is I've created a template. I'm selling this template for $5. It comes with 3 templates. This is what I'm going to be doing. You do not have to use my template. If you have your own or you would like to draw your own, that is totally fine. If you would like to purchase one of my templates, I do have them on my website and it's $5. It's a digital download. You can use it as much as you want and you are able to sell the finished product from my templates. I just ask that you do not share or sell my actual template. So what you're gonna wanna do with this template is you're gonna wanna print out one on sticker paper and one on just a regular piece of computer paper. So I'm gonna show you every single thing that I'm gonna be using for this project. First off, a nice thick cork mat. Now grinders can be kind of expensive. So I'm gonna be using this stone scythe, and what this is gonna do is it's gonna allow you to file down the rough edges of your glass. It is a fraction of the cost of a grinder. This is a great alternative. When it comes to your glass cutter, I've got 2 glass cutters that I can show you here. Glass cutters are not that expensive, and really I have found that you don't have to go super expensive with these. One thing you do want to make sure of is that you have some sort of glass cutting oil. Here are 2 different glass cutters I have. This one actually comes with 3 different tips, so depending on the thickness of your glass, this one has 3 different options, and this one comes so that you can actually put your glass cutting oil right in the base here, which is really nice. But you don't have to have this. I mean, you could easily get a little bit of the glass cutting oil, dip this into it and cut. So this one works great. This one just works a little bit better. I mean, they're both pretty cheap, so I don't really think neither one of them is gonna break the bank. When it comes to your soldering iron, this is probably one of the most popular ones. This is the Hakko FX601. This one is more expensive than the Hakko, I don't remember how to pronounce this. They have a base level one that is a 503. However, this brand, I feel like, is the best brand to get for soldering irons. Again, if you're not sure if this is something you want to do, you may want to start off with a cheaper one. The nice thing about this one is that you can adjust the temperature, which it's gonna make your life a whole lot easier. And I also have this stand. So, because you're gonna need to have a place to put your soldering iron so that you don't burn your tabletop. It's one of those important things. I've got 2 different types of pliers that you're gonna need. These are your running pliers and these are your breaker, Grozer pliers. This actually comes as a set, so you don't even have to think which one do I want because it comes together. They're very inexpensive, and so, but these are essential. You're gonna need solder. This solder is 60-40, so that's 60% tin, 40% lead. This is the one I recommend. You of course are gonna need some flux. Today I'm gonna be using this paste flux, but they also have liquid flux, and I've linked both of them in my storefront. You're also gonna need some nitrile gloves, because this stuff is kind of nasty. I also like to use these heat resistant gloves for when I'm soldering. You are going to want to make sure that you are by a window, maybe have a fan, wear a mask. Hey, this stuff is nasty. Like, you don't want to be breathing this in. So really take care of yourself, watch out for yourself, and don't breathe this junk in. Now I love the waffle grid cutting board. This thing is awesome because all the tiny little bits of glass fall through, and so I don't have to constantly be cleaning this while I'm cutting my glass. Other things you're gonna need some protective eyewear and of course a mask, because this stuff is nasty. Now when it comes to sticker paper, This is the sticker paper I prefer. It's the sticker vinyl. It's just so easy to remove and replace. If you do use a cheaper paper sticker, it's totally fine. You are going to need to wet this in order to get this off cleanly. This will not peel off on its own. You are going to need the stained glass, you're going to need foiling tape. So you want to make sure that whatever color is on the back of your foiling tape is the color that you're planning on having your solder. So if I was actually going to add like a patina and I wanted to do, maybe I wanted to do black, well then I would want to make sure that the back of my foiling tape was black. Because if you've got anything that's transparent, you're going to be able to see through that and it's not going to be good. When you're doing this, you're also going to need something to burnish that with. Here are a couple of options. This is actually a hand foiler. So this allows you to use, when you put your copper foil on this, this allows you to just run that along without doing it on your finger. But then you've also got burnishers that are like this, that have little grooves so that it goes over this and it'll fit directly over the glass. There are also rollers to help smooth out once the foil is placed. And then these are just some traditional burnishers. These two actually came with this cork mat. So if you buy this cork mat, it's going to come with the burnishers and you can use this on the glass. The other thing you may want to get are some cut resistant gloves, just in case you're nervous about your hands getting cut from the glass. You also may want to get some tip tinner. That's going to help clean the tip of your soldering iron. You always want to start each project with a really clean soldering iron. You, of course, are going to need a variety of stained glass. I have linked the ones that I am using for this project, but you can get whatever kind you want. I also have this layout block system. So this, you can use this on this mat. This is just to help when you're putting your piece together. This is going to help hold everything in place. You're going to need a pair of scissors and you're going to need a Sharpie. I like to use a silver Sharpie when I do these projects. Now on my template, I've included where I think you should be putting your jump rings. If you're going to be hanging your piece, you can get jump rings from a variety of different places. You just want to make sure that you are able to solder them, whatever it is that you get. I've printed out 2 copies. I've got one on my printer paper and one on my vinyl sticker paper. And what I'm going to do right now is number these. When I cut these out and place them onto my glass and I cut them out, I'm going to know where they go in this pattern. So I've left these blank for you guys. You can number them however you like. Some people like to do color coding so they know which numbers should be which colors, all of that. So I've left them blank for you. You just have to write them in. So now all I need to do is cut this. But I have my shapes cut out. I need to start attaching those shapes to the glass. You want to put your sticker on the smooth side. It's way easier to cut on the smooth side of glass. You also want to make sure that whatever pattern is happening on your glass, that you kind of have things going in the same direction. So really the key is applying even pressure. Make sure you get that little cutting wheel right up against your pattern. You're going to apply even pressure and go all the way across. And then you're going to just tap. There you go. Corners can be a little tricky, so just be careful. Now this broke, but this little corner right here did not break all the way. My little running pliers, I'm gonna hold that. I mean, you could hold it with your hand. And then I'm just gonna grab on with this, my little grazing pliers, and I'm just gonna pull. Just gonna take it off right there. There you go. It's also why you should be wearing eye protection while you're doing all of this. You do not want glass in your eyeballs. All right, I'm going to finish up cutting all these pieces and we're going to start putting it together. So this broke a little too early, but the beauty of this is because I'm using the vinyl stickers, I can just easily pull that off and then place this back where it'll work. Always tap the bottom. If this doesn't break, normally this will break it. If this doesn't break it, a lot of times I'll just come in here with these running pliers, and there's a little line right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a little line right there. You're going to line that up on where the break should be, and you're just going to gently apply pressure. You're going to hear that snap. There we go. Perfect cut. For the most part, tapping on the bottom and using these running pliers does the trick. I didn't say this before I got started, but I was wearing my safety glasses and my mask. A lot of people will use this tool when they're putting on their copper foiling. I don't have very good luck with it. So, it stresses me out when it's not even on both sides. So I just stick to using my hands. I prefer being able to see exactly where things are going. And I had trouble with that tool being able to see. So I just do it the old fashioned way with my fingers. Now, these little things are amazing. They really help keep your whole piece together. And if you have different angles, so like I actually have a 2-pack of these. So I keep one of my sets as the full pieces, and then I cut down the other set. If your piece isn't just straight across, then what good is a straight piece gonna do you? But this set does come with little push pins, and it has it's got these little holes in it. You'll see that? That fit perfectly. But it's nice because then you can get your piece perfectly squared up, because these little boogers like to shift around. And if you need, you can literally just cut them on the score line. Just like that. And now this is ready for flux, and we can start to solder. Before we start to solder, you're going to want a mask. I'm always going to have my protective glasses. It is freezing outside. When I open this window, I'm also going to turn on a heater, so it's going to get a little loud. Another thing that I like to do is I've got a little fan that I just put right next to my project so that it's going to blow those fumes out the window. I do have a fume extractor that's packed away somewhere from the move. I gotta find it. I'm just gonna put my little scraps right where I'm gonna be attaching the jump ring. And that's just gonna help get it to the correct height. I'm gonna add just a little more flux. Add a little bit of flux to these jump rings. Right where the break is in them. And then I'm gonna place these. And if you're using one of my templates, I actually show you exactly where to place this. A little bit of space here. All right, she's all done. Now we need to put a chain on her. I've gotten her all cleaned up. And of course I'm gonna use a decorative chain because, I mean, that's the way I roll. So I'm just gonna attach the jump ring. I was tempted to put like a rosary chain, something really fancy, but decided I think she is fancy enough on her own. All right. There she is. She's so cute. Guys, I hope you try it. If you do, be sure to tag me so I can see it. And don't forget, go out there and have yourself a little me time. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.